welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lindsay Faust. I'm 20 years old and I'm really passionate about sustainable fashion. Before we get into today's video, I'd also like to say thank you guys so much for getting us to 1,300 subscribers and for also getting my first video to over 100,000 views. I cannot believe how much this channel has grown, and I also want to apologize for not posting as much. Life has been crazy right now. I mean, as you all know, we're living through a global pandemic and I'm trying to balance work and school life. So yeah, but I'm gonna start posting more frequently. And I also would like to share the news that my YouTube channel has officially been monetized. I have been dreaming about this day since we started this channel 5 months ago during quarantine. And so I just like to say thank you guys so much for making this a possibility. And I'm really excited to see what the future of this channel holds. So to start off, I just want to say a quick disclaimer. This is how I'm going to clean out my closet in the most sustainable and ethical way that I currently know how. I haven't really seen a guide. I looked on the internet, went through blogs, did my research. So I'm trying to get a full scope of what we have to work with here. But if you guys have any comments, suggestions, or tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments because I'm always looking to learn something new. Also, before you move forward with any of these steps, make sure that you're doing your best to reuse, rewear, and repair any items of clothes you have in your closet before moving forward to get rid of them or give them to a new home. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Also, I'm gonna read a quick little fact about waste. So in 2013 alone, Americans discarded 15.1 million tons of clothing and other textiles. 85% of that wound up in landfills. And the problem with clothing ending up directly in landfills, like if you throw it away in your garbage bin, is that toxic chemicals are gonna be released into the soil and also into the air because, for example, polyester is made from plastic, which is essentially oil. So if somehow along the way we're able to give clothing a second or third life through things like reselling or hand-me-downs, we're able to really help alleviate part of that carbon footprint. So what's step number one to getting rid of your clothing? Just go through everything. I mean, I went back to my parents' house and was going through like drawers of old t-shirts from high school. I went through like the deep dark depths of like the back corners of my closet and just found everything that I literally hadn't worn in a couple of years, and maybe it's something like, oh, but like maybe I'll wear it eventually. Point is, if you haven't worn it in a while or it's just something that's not your style anymore, there's someone out there that would probably love to have it. So by the time I had finally sorted through everything I had in my parents' house mixed with stuff at my house here in Cincinnati, I was able to get a pretty good estimate on what I was working with. Mac is helping me go through all my clothes right now. I just brought home this huge bag of things I went through at my parents' house, and then I also have this pile of stuff in my closet. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm going through everything, and then I am hanging it up here on this rack. I'm by at certain times, and then if stuff doesn't sell, I'll probably be posting them on my Instagram story to try and sell them really quick. So step number two, you may ask, I let my sister go through everything. So she knows how much my clothes mean to me. She knows a little bit about sustainable fashion too. So I let her pick anything that she thought she could wear or maybe something a friend might like and kind of let her get first dibs on everything. Obviously I gave it to her for free. She's my little sister. Because in the end, I'm not getting rid of my clothes to make a profit. I am just trying to live a more minimalistic life as well as just kind of downsize my wardrobe because I understand I'm very fortunate to have, a lot of clothes I've collected over the years. And I'm also a hoarder, and I do still have my clothing from 7th grade because unfortunately that's when I stopped growing. So I have kind of just collected a lot, and I'm very hesitant to get rid of things, especially when they mean a lot to me. So I feel that giving away to family or friends is a good second step of how to get rid of your clothing because your friends are gonna appreciate, like my friend Caroline Bowater, she loves this yellow set that I made, and I actually wore it on my first day of school when I went to DAP, and she had worn it a couple times this summer. And when she was moving to California, I was like, you know what, take it with you. You wear it way more than I do, and I know you really appreciate it. So that's just an example of how you can be a good friend too. If you know someone really likes something in your closet that you just don't wear as much, like, people are gonna remember that, and they're gonna wear it probably twice as much than you ever would. So for this third step, I sold my clothes, and that's because selling my clothes and giving them a price gives them value and makes them way less disposable. It also gives clothing a second, third, or even a fourth life, depending on what garment I was trying to get rid of. I hosted a socially distant / Instagram swap and sale of my clothing here in my house. Basically what I did was the clothing that my sister did not call first dibs on. I priced these items and I resold as much as I could. So yeah, I'm gonna safety pin a little tag on these and put how much they are, and put my Venmo, and my roommates and I are just gonna fill our living room with stuff and have people come by at certain times. And then if stuff doesn't sell, I'll probably be posting them on my Instagram story to try and sell them really quick. Buying one used item reduces its carbon footprint by 82%. So just imagine what a wardrobe filled with just a few secondhand items would look like, and just think about the environmental impact you'd be having, as well as getting some cool ass clothes for super cheap. And now on to the fourth step. So I know people in Cincinnati know of the Sustainable Fashion Initiative, but they're actually hosting right now an online Instagram swap. So I donated 5 items to this, and my roommates also donated 5 items each as well. And so what they did is they collected well over 100 pieces of clothing from our community, and these are people who wanted to swap. And because we can't meet up to do this in person like we have done in past events, they're putting a team of people together to have a photo shoot, and they're gonna have some people style outfits on models, and they're posting everything on this Instagram account, and it's called sfi.swap if I remember correctly. And everyone, basically, it's kind of a free-for-all. You comment, you're like, oh, would love this or mine on whichever item you want, and if you're first, then it's yours. So I think that's a really good way to combat the issue of thrift stores being overwhelmed right now, while also getting some cute new items of clothing. Also, I know there's a number somewhere that exists, but I don't want to say an exact percentage and be incorrect. So if anyone knows in the comments, I would love to hear. But a large percentage of clothing that is donated by community members to thrift stores actually doesn't get distributed domestically. It gets sent overseas to other secondhand markets, which is something that when I found that out, I was really confused by, because I thought when I was donating, I was doing some sort of great pat yourself on the back charity work, and it's really just a larger issue of white saviorism and other issues that could be addressed in a future video if you're interested. So yeah, if anyone has any questions or comments about that, I will do my best to answer them. On to step number 5 though. I had a couple extra items after donating to the SFI swap and also after selling them. So I just posted them on my Instagram story, and some people in Cincinnati, some of my friends from back home were commenting on posts. So just trying to distribute those by either drop off or pickup, socially distant, just to try and get some extra pieces out the door. So at the end of the day, I have about 5 pieces of clothing that I wasn't able to distribute to other people. I think personally I'm just gonna hold on to them for a bit longer. They're honestly super fun pieces. I just don't wear them enough. I'm trying to be mindful of what I have and what I'm continuing to consume. Last disclaimer, clothing should never be thrown away directly into a trash bin. Even if it's damaged, I think that's kind of where textile recycling programs can come into play. Or just cutting up your clothing and using them as rags around the house. I mean, everyone always has some sort of project they're working on. But yeah, donating to thrift stores also, even though it seems like an easy answer, I think just being mindful of thrift stores basically being waste management resources for us that we don't pay for. And I just think it's good to be mindful, especially now while they're overwhelmed and it's a lot of volunteer work there, that we don't want to contribute to a larger issue. So in conclusion, we can start by buying less clothing. It's a really simple concept, but it makes a really big difference in the world. The best way to be responsible with your closet is seriously just buying less frequently and buying well-made items. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I will be posting more frequently soon. I'm also so thankful for you guys again for 1,300 subscribers. Have a great rest of your week, and don't forget to leave any comments or questions below.